I believe in Steam. I believe in Steam. Oh, it's gonna fog my glasses up. I believe in Steam. Uh, Anyways, I haven't made a meta video in a while. Here's the definition of meta. Well, first, here's the quote of I believe in Steve, as in Steve Jobs. But then there's Steam, as in the video game company in Valve. The definition of meta, I had actually looked up a couple of years before Facebook changed its name. One of my mentors and teachers used to always mention the word, and it just means self-referential. It'd be like if those two guys with the thumbs up, Lenny and Bruce, what are their names? I don't remember their names. Two thumbs up, the movie review guys, did reviews about guys who do movie reviews. That's what I'm doing. So, where do I start? I opened a bunch of tabs, kind of like, let's see, hang on. In some of my, well, the next video I was going to make was going to be about video game development and computer simulation. You know, it's really long and tedious to create the simulation, but then running the simulation is really fun. So I have that back here. Well, here's my first 3D model, like Pinocchio and Geppetto. It's a real boy, almost. This 3D model, yeah, and that's really something. I think this is the video that I'm looking for. I don't think the sound is working. Oh no, this is not the video. This is just the fun part. So here's some game testers running my simulation. Oh, is that not visible? Oh no. Anyways, these aren't I'm not the white or the orange. This was what I said. I typed out, this might be the most epic battle that's ever taken place in a computer simulation. So that's my version of Risk. Here's where some of the computer nerd stuff comes in. So I created myself a artificial intelligence sort of thing. When a player moves their character here to this beacon, what happens is all the units will move in a certain way. So it's just the very basic definition of a video game is using the controller. Using the controller to move in a certain direction. I also have my PlayStation 6-axis controller that I won't need for much longer. But this is my team right here, taking a city. This is a world map. So this really is like the most epic battle. It just goes on and on for a really long time, and it's really balanced. That's the whole not the whole purpose, but the main purpose of a video game to make it fun should be to be fair and balanced. problem was that uh, people who, I don't know, some players just don't have that attitude, and as soon as they find some kind of a advantage, they really take advantage of it. So they took all these Goliaths and just, you know, destroyed the morale of Orange. I tried to tell Orange how to win, you know, by using these characters here. Like I said Orange, Observer buys Goliath, Medic buys Infested Terran is what I just said to Orange player. And so he starts making Infested Terrans in hopes that he would be able to stay in the battle, but no. So what I would have to do is up the damage of those Infested Terrans so that he could just. And Sid Meier, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. He made the Civilized game, Civilization. His rule is to either double or halve. Don't do like little micro adjustments. It's like make big adjustments. So I took the Goliath's hit points from 700 down to 300. And then the thing is that making one small change in a game can mess up the whole game. Like it really can. Like I said right here, I have to fix Goliath hit points. And I don't even know if these chats are showing up on the left side of the screen, but what else? So this game's from 1997, StarCraft. It's very iconic because when Twitch was designed and video game streaming, which eventually turned into modern day streaming, it was designed for specifically StarCraft players. The first tournaments, besides maybe like Super Smash Brothers, were StarCraft tournaments. And I have like really bad news, I guess, about not that one. My second favorite game of all time, Battlefield Bad Company 2, right here, is getting shut down within about 2 weeks. I think December 8th. So, you know, in our PlayStation 3 group here on Facebook, it's really nothing but end screens and, you know, recent media. See all, it's just going to be like blah, 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 blah. Bunch of screens, a bunch of dog tags. It's like kind of pathetic. Kind of like really, really pathetic. I don't know why there's red buttons. I think there's something wrong with this group, but because it says that there's some stuff that's not allowed, but they allow it anyways because it's a private group. You know, that kind of is what I'm gonna say here. I think it's here. No, here. Sam Altman candid Google search. What I'm gonna say here. The board, you know, charged him with not being candid enough. It's like when people have a disclosure agreement or a non-disclosure agreement. You know, celebrities and rich people and stuff, they have that. You know, that's the non-disclosure agreement wasn't being candid enough. Candid is the opposite of non-disclosure or something. But let me go back to this. Okay, so that's the group here. It's just a really boring group because it's just pictures of statistics and stuff. You know, I was gonna make a video here showing people, because this game's from, you know, it's how many years old? I think it's 12 or 13 years old. And if StarCraft the servers had been shut down 12 or 13 years after the game released, that would have been really difficult for me personally, because in 2008 and 2009 was when on my channel here, I go back to the original video I'd had. I was one of the pioneers of YouTube, believe it or not. This video blew up with 20,000 views. I called it World of StarCraft. Something I found yesterday was WorldCraft, and that's from Valve and Steam. It's like computer development, computer simulation development video games, aka. I have these 3 videos from 15 years ago. That was in like 2008 and 9 when, you know, StarCraft was as old as this Battlefield game. Someone wrote a post here that I agreed with, and so I wrote 2 really long, I don't know, journals or whatever to call it. I don't know if this is showing up. I hope it's showing up in the video. You know, I thought it was just a fluke, and that I was a lesser player because I didn't play hardcore mode, quote unquote. It's just a long story. It's a meta thing. Like, I wouldn't explain it now because there's all these videos on the side. But no, I mean, I still know it's still won even in hardcore mode, so I don't gotta showcase that now. But there was another comment too. There was 2 long comments. These, and I mentioned StarCraft. Okay, I suppose I can close that tab. Let me go back here. I don't have a lot of videos from recent times, but because the game's shutting down, I've made as much as I can of Battlefield footage. I think this is the video where I say I believe in Steam when it opens up with that. These are looking very similar, and I watched the movie that this game is based on. It's called Iron Sky. This is Iron Sky Part 2 with Tom Green, but in a really weird way. How do I pressed the wrong button. The entire movie of Iron Sky seems to be based on my initial, game here. It's a Finnish movie. It's the most expensive movie from Finland ever produced. It's called Iron Sky, and I watched it finally on YouTube, and I was just kind of blown away at how very, very similar my initial video on YouTube was to it. And of course the movie's based on a video game. The movie Iron Sky is based on the video game Iron Sky. And so I started researching into the developing company. They're from Poland. And now I'm getting on a tangent, but this other game that I like, it's called Zombie Defense. I researched the studio that made this game because I really enjoyed just everything about this game, not just the gameplay, but it's like, this is a really smart team that's put this game together, and they're also from Poland, that video game studio. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write myself a non-disclosure agreement and try to reach out to them. It's actually called HomeNet Games, about people who make games from home and they're released when they're ready. A no timeline, there's no crunch mode and stuff. I guess that computer crunch stuff is what kind of led me to finally playing Civilization. It's like intentionally boring compared to Age of Empires, for example. But so this was in the news 4 days ago, and the developer Obi Vermage, I think he's from Norway. So Europeans make some of the greatest video game and development tools, but he originally created much of Grand Theft Auto 3, and apparently the long lost game Agent that never released is kind of why his blog got shut down. It wasn't monetized or anything, it still got shut down. But yeah, Sid Meier who made Civilization and stuff. Also, Roller Coaster Tycoon. I think it's the same Take-Two company, publisher of GTA and Rockstar Games that created Rockstar Games. But this covert action I found, this seems to be the real like micro pros, kind of like Microsoft tried to compete with Microsoft in computer simulation of flight simulators. A lot of these guys get their start like that. Will Wright of SimCity and The Sims started playing this. He said he got into robots, and then robots got him into video games. He taught himself programming and stuff. Sid Meier says he based his Civilization on SimCity. Even the 999 plan of the restaurant CEO, the pizza restaurant CEO who ran for president, the Darwin Award winner on Reddit. They have the awards for people who bucked the lockdown restrictions. His last picture was going out to some big event, and then it's very sad overall, from any angle, what happened to him. But yeah, I expected it to pull up to the game, just that one thing. So here's starting at the end. Okay, so I'm starting at the end. It's a Google search for "That's My Boy" cast. So it's sort of like this here is "That's My Boy," like if it was like a sort of like a Pinocchio thing, is in 3D now. Here's the original right here. Of course, it's the dinosaur from Toy Story. Here's my video from November 27th of last year, and I don't remember what this is. YouTube video. I don't know why I mentioned Las Vegas. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. Okay. I pressed the wrong button, but aren't there more things in this post? Oh, don't try this at home. Oh, 4 years ago, right? Okay, I remember that. Oh no, I'm going the wrong direction or something. I don't know what's happening over here. That's a good song. The two cellos guys play Thunderstruck. So I read about this. Is this right? This, like Ice Cube says in NWA Straight Outta Compton, with crime record like Andy Dick. Okay. It's not recommended to have this kind of he has like a bunch of sexual misconduct on his criminal record, but I don't know, it's like it's reading it, it's like outrageously funny. In February 2007, he has a spotted crime record of sexual misconduct. Andy Dick was forcibly removed from the stage on Jimmy Kimmel Live after repeatedly touching guest Ivanka Trump. Jimmy Kimmel called in his security guards, Uncle Frank and Beatrice Rice, who assisted as Kimmel dragged Andy Dick off by the legs. It just is really funny. I don't know. Feud with John Lovitz too. That's funny. I mean, kind of funny, kind of sad. Okay, so here's the first thing I had seen when I logged into Facebook today. It says, remember the original Duck Hunt? Neither does AI. And so it drew this picture of Duck Hunt that's funny. And so in the movie That's My Boy cast, there's the actress Eva Murray, and she's like a blogger or something. But what's so strange and weird is I'm like completely drawing a blank. I had did I delete it, or is it right here? Oh, here it is. Okay, so I typed in Eva Murray playing piano in a theater, a dog is on stage, view from the audience. And Microsoft Bing's image creator is using the DALL-E platform from Sam Altman's company, OpenAI. So Doll E is based on the title of the movie Wall-E plus Salvador Dali, Dali, the artist. And, you know, in the movie Wall-E, the character, he's always saying Eva, Eva. But what's so weird is Eva Murray, her name is like Eve. It's not just Eva. Her last name also starts with A, so it's like Eva. I don't know. It's really funny. The dog. Here's something I found from the early '90s. A music video from Saturday Night Live. Adam Sandler, and I think Rob Schneider and even Chris Farley's in this music video. It says Seattle Rock Band. I guess now that I watch it again, it says, because Tom Arnold said live from Seattle, it's definitely got to be a Nirvana spoof. When Tom Arnold hosted, I don't know, but what's so funny is this right here. This is alright. That goofy laugh that I just did, but yeah, that's a good song overall. I think that's Dana Carvey. Yeah, it's got to be as the drummer, because he's a drummer in Wayne's World. And here's Rob Schneider as, I don't know if he's playing bass or something. I don't know who that is, but that looks like Jimmy Fallon for a second. I really don't know who that is. Oh, it might be, no, the guy from not Airheads, but that rock documentary Spinal Tap. And then I don't know who that is. She looks familiar, but eventually Chris Farley does a stage dive. I highly recommend, maybe if there's like one thing that I'll link with this video, it'll be this. Okay, so Adam Sandler's got a new movie named Leo from 2023 about a 70-year-old lizard named Leo and his turtle friend. And they just decide to try to escape the aquarium or terrarium. I guess it's called a terrarium. And so the movie's titled Leo, in my opinion, because of the final boss of comedy, right? It's like Leo Frank, because he looks so much like Lenny Bruce. Like, these guys really, really look similar. Of course, Leo Frank is the original purpose of the Anti-Defamation League. Something about Texas? I didn't know that he was from Texas. Hero, Texas? I didn't know that. Okay, so here's Leo Frank, kind of like Leo DiCaprio, or Leo, the movie from 2023. And then Lenny, I had made a comment about, I said, when you're here, you're family, right? And here's, people also search for George Carlin, Bill Hicks, Richard Pryor, Mort Saul. I think he had one of the original late night shows, Joan Rivers. So he's in that kind of a league of comedians. Let me go ahead and scroll until I find that on my Facebook profile. A lot of famous comedians. Bill Hicks, should I say colleague, Sam Kinison was supposed to play the role of the incomparable Atuk book made into a movie. This is my most recent post from October 30th that I had made private. But yeah, I was just taking this picture. Really sad because in the week leading up to Matthew Perry's passing, I had checked his Instagram within a week, and I had seen this picture when he was still alive. I'd made a 30-minute blog, just like I'm sitting here right now, talking about how I'd watched almost all of his stuff that he did post Friends. He did a story about a teacher that was like kind of like a ABC made-for-TV movie. I watched half of it, and I actually was I actually started crying because there's one point where he's chasing. There's like one of the kids who starts a fight in the classroom, and then instead of getting him expelled, he chases him down and says, and in the stairwell, he's like, "Look, you can get expelled right now. I can tell the principal what you did, or you can come back to class and we could just, when you're here, you're family." And I started crying because I realized that's what a good teacher is. People are always saying like we don't pay teachers enough, and what's the difference between a good teacher and a bad teacher? He really shows that in this made-for-TV documentary about a real person. But here, that picture I'd made, whatever. What else? I'm looking for something. I gotta grab my keyboard from some months ago about Lenny Bruce. So, I suppose after this I could upload that 30-minute blog that I made about Matthew Perry when he was still alive. I mean, it was kind of like a eulogy because there was a lot of praise. Mainly, he was in the Saturday Night Live TV show that Aaron Sorkin made called Live from Studio 60. It's on the Sunset Boulevard Strip or whatever from Los Angeles. It's Friday night. I'm trying to think about what's the post I'm looking for. Yeah, this one was doomed are those from whom history doesn't learn from. I don't. Or wait. Those who don't learn from history are doomed. And I think that's what it should say in the Shining instead of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. No, it's definitely. That's when I started talking about ChatGPT, and that it was trying to extort me or something. Like the Italian mob, it was kind of funny. Oh, Nighthawk. Okay, so Nighthawk is this food company that makes this pasta or something, but Night Shift or no, Night Surf was Stephen King's first published article in a magazine. This is something. Alright, so here. Right here. Night Surf is a post-apocalyptic short story by Stephen King. But I found something called I found a game yesterday, also by a Polish video game company called the Night Shift. But it was with a K, like they had medieval times, that kind of a night. And apparently, when I searched that on Google, it's some kind of like scientific thing about nuclear, maybe nuclear power or something. But the guy who named it was named Knight, and I guess that was one of the things I forgot to pull up. Tupac's "Can't See Me" song is kind of like the most Machiavellian song that he has on his Machiavelli album, but Recreate Yourself is one of Robert Greene's 48 Laws. Not one of them. It's one of the most important because it has no reversal. But what I'm trying to recreate myself as now is like, what if I had signed a non-disclosure agreement, right? And so I'm going to draft a non-disclosure agreement and try to reach out to some of these European game studios and try to get my hands on some video game developing tools that are some real serious stuff because, although like there's nothing wrong with just using the video game editor of the games that I have, I'm trying to have something more, I guess, professional or whatever to try to make a living. But it's just going to involve me having to go through my social media presence, maybe and making a lot of this stuff viewable only to me because I just talk so much and say like everything that I think that I got to be more candid, like they said about Sam Altman. So here's something about GTA 6. Um, you know, in the metaverse, I posted this on October 26th, and I think it was, you know, 3 weeks later or something that they finally announced GTA 6. Um, I don't have anything to say about that right now. This is a funny thing from that TV show 30 Rock. 30 Rock is kind of like Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. It's like the comedy official version from NBC. And even though I think NBC also did the other one too, but this is the example of what I'm saying about disclosure. Is like I got to be more discreet, because a lot of the results I think I've had in my life are from not being discreet enough, and trying to show off and stuff. But oh well. So I'm gonna try to recreate myself like Robert Greene says, and be more reserved, more mysterious, I guess. Like not showing my cards all the time. It's like, here I just won this poker hand with this like 2 and a 3. That's kind of like what Columbus did, according to Robert Greene in his Act Like a King chapter of his book. But this is what I'm looking for. I mean, it's actually that's not what I'm looking for, but this poem that I found from the 1800s, from the Laughing Philosopher. Is this on video? I'm like doing this thing, but Captain Trips is from The Stand, and also Stephen King's first short story. But the way this story reads, I didn't even read it. I posted it and then I read it. But that's kind of like what happened to Leo Frank. And in this day and age, what is it? 2023, this stuff happened 100 years ago. In 1915, he was only 31 when he died. And, Lenny Bruce has a semi-charmed kind of life. He lived to be like 37 compared to, it doesn't say here, I don't think, but I think he was 37 when he passed away. But he was born the exact same year as my grandfather. That's wild. My grandfather's pictured over here. My dad's father over here. That's my dad's father, my dad's grandfather. Here's something about Cleveland. Here's my grandfather and his 2 brothers. I really think that facially, my grandfather looks like this statue of Amerigo Vespucci, from whom America gets his name. I think I just used whom for the first time. So I can take this picture and turn it into a 3D object over here, like they have in video games, PlayStation games and stuff. Maybe I'll try that next, but what else? So I'm still looking for that Lenny Bruce thing. I gotta get back to that and this. But hang on, let me go back to this book. It is apparently a cursed book. Whoever is going to star as the incomparable Atak ends up passing away. So it's like a pretty realistic curse in my opinion. I don't know if I'd say 100%, but urban legend claims that a curse has killed all the actors who've shown interest in the lead role, from John Belushi to Sam Kinison, John Candy, and Chris Farley. And then even people who had just read the script in their presence, such as Michael O'Donoghue and Phil Hartman. Michael O'Donoghue is one of the original, not producers, but writers for Saturday Night Live. Okay, interesting fellow. So, another interesting author, like the one who wrote this book, The Incomparable Atak, is his name is John Kennedy S. Kind of like John David Stutz, Eddie Murphy's character from the 1980s on Saturday Night Live, the one who shot buckwheat. Someone says, hey, Mr. Wheat, like there's a guy who's about to shoot you, and he gets shot. But it's not funny, but whatever. It's the plot. Wait, who is the original author of this? I don't know. Oh, Norman Jewison purchased the rights to film the book in 1971. That's when my grandfather passed away, my dad's dad. But John Kennedy O'Toole, that's his name. Kennedy is his middle name, but he wrote the book Confederacy of Dunces, based on Jonathan Swift's book. One of his books opens with that. Jonathan Swift wrote books in like the 1600s. He was an English clergyman who everybody knows wrote, not everybody knows, but everybody knows Gulliver's Travels. And you know, like 2 years ago or something, I made a lot of comments about that. I'm still looking for this one video that I made about Lenny Bruce saying like, when you're here, your family. I don't think I deleted it. Like, I just kind of stuttered, but like I make it viewable only to me, but I wouldn't delete it, I don't think. I just don't think I'm going to be able to find this. Maybe it's farther down from this stuff. This is still kind of funny to me. This was before Threads was named the new site to compete with Twitter. Here's the Threads. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Like the song. Everybody knows this song. But, and that's the Tom Cruise in that, you know, he's dancing to that song in that movie. Very well known. How do I back out of that? I just don't think I'm going to be able to find this. I'm just going up and down looking for this. That one's only me. You know, open up this one. I don't know. It says edit audience, visible to the public. So Matthew Perry's autobiography really reads like one of these. 6 Nights with the Washingtonians, the book The Game, Neil Strauss, or Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, the movie. Those are all kind of similar things. So after I open up a picture, it won't let me like go backwards. Maybe it was deleted. Maybe Facebook deleted it. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't have any account restrictions. Knock on wood. Yeah, it's just gone. Gotta be one of these. I don't think that's it, no. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even upload this video if my post is just gone. That's so strange. Oh, there it is. Finally, I just wasn't going far enough. It was from July. So I was just trying to point out how much, like I got to see myself in Lady Bruce. I think that was before listening to one of his 3 hour lectures, whatever you want, 1 hour lecture at some concert hall in Los Angeles, and I was just like, oh man. He was like reading my mind. He was like, I'm 35 now, blah 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 blah. I'm actually listening to Nutcracker right now on my headset. That was something I made in July about it. Have you seen? That's what I'm listening to right now. I guess that's enough for now. Is there anything that I forgot to talk about? Oh, this. I started searching. I don't think very few people know that Nintendo, has been a company since the late 1800s. A game company making card games, and then they started making computer games. The concept for Super Mario Brothers originally had skins of Olive Oil, Popeye, and Bluto. And there's something called a Plutino, kind of like Pluto. The planet is in a category of Plutinos, named after some ancient Greek underground thing or something like that. I don't know. But I started researching the man who created Popeye, because whoever owned the intellectual property of him, kind of like Mickey Mouse and Popeye, blah, 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 they wouldn't allow Nintendo to publish that. But nobody had, in this late 1970s and early 1980s when this happened, no one knew how easy it was to just change the skin from Popeye to Mario. It was just like a one button press type thing. It takes 5 minutes to do. Funny enough, I searched yesterday model generator, and it showed me a 3D model gas powered generator that everyone's saying in video game culture, not everyone, but they're making fun of the new Call of Duty for copy and pasting an old asset from some other game of a generator. It's like, there's that generator again. But oh, this is the one. Wow. Maybe the game was published. I don't know. That's wild. In the words of Johnny Carson, that's wild. Someone's calling. Oh no. Scam likely. Thanks for calling. Anyways, so LZ Seeger, who created Popeye, I started researching him, and he took a correspondence course in cartooning from W.L. Evans of Cleveland, Ohio, and that's where my grandfather's from. And let's see. Yeah, so I don't really know what to say, but some months ago they'd made Popeye free to watch on YouTube. That was before there was the movie Barbie. There was Popeye with Robin Williams, and I watched like the first hour, and the bar scene when Bluto apologizes to Popeye for bullying him is like one of the greatest scenes in cinema history, I think. But I guess that's about it. This was a Twitter account I made about a year ago about video games. It's called Lenny the Bruce the Realist, and the first thing I uploaded was a Super Nintendo box in 3 dimensions. So just like this here, how I took a picture of the dinosaur from Toy Story, I should say Jurassic Park, but whatever. If I take this picture onto this website, it's going to generate that for me. So did I forget to have this going up? I was supposed to have this up to block out uh, my Facebook friends. So I wasn't trying to dox you guys who are on my Facebook friends list. I was trying to have um, the video below here. What? I don't see it now, but I'm supposed to have my video, and then this over here because of Sid Meier. I don't know. It's just making fun of Microsoft over here. Anyways, yep. So I opened up all these tabs and trying to run through them. Here's a character from Super Smash Brothers, like the most lethal character. He's a non-player character, but he jumps in the match and takes out one player at random. It's like terrifying. Anyone who knows the original Super Smash from Nintendo. Oh, Kaiuchi finally uploaded. Kaiuchi finally uploaded a new video. Oh no, that's a different one. That's a different guy. I haven't seen Jeff's videos in a long time. I think his name is Jeff. It looks like still going, and a lot more views than before, but that's good. Oh, I'd made a Discord link, right? But there's nothing there. These are just some of my old Twitter posts. So now I can finally update it with from the first one that I'd made. Something about John Bonham and his hot rod. That's what in the video game Twisted Metal, Rob Zombie's Dragula. It's based on that in my opinion. But David Jaffe, who created Twisted Metal, his first video game was just Three Ninjas over here. And so I took a picture from the movie. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. But that, I don't know what to say, but so yeah, I'm gonna try to draft that disclosure agreement. Message my brother from Ananda Meta over there in Portugal. I said a video game company offered me a position, and I want to extend the offer to you. But I was just making that up. He's gonna be, or hopefully he's gonna be, my lawyer who wrote the. So it's like, this is very deceptive. This is like 48 Laws of Power stuff. So, Sal, my brother, Salvador, my lawyer, gave me a non-disclosure agreement from one of these video game companies to sign, and then I forward that to one of the lower people at the company, maybe like the secretary who reads emails, like, oh, I'm the new hire, and I just sort of like joined the company like that, just like that. So we'll see how it works. I don't think it's gonna work, but it sounds fun. Sounds like fun. So that's all.